Today we're looking at one of our INS01 head assemblies. This head assembly, as standard, can handle drums from 50 to 220 litres, from 350mm diameter up to 600mm. We can adjust it in size. You can see here we've got one of the segments removed, and we've got a separate video that shows how to adjust this head. In this video we want to show you how you can handle very small drums. For instance, this 30-litre Mauser here, which is smaller in diameter again, but also 25-litre containers and small metal tins would suit with what we're going to show you now. This is the INS01, so it's an insert that goes inside the head assembly, and it's basically a spacer that spaces down the head to handle these smaller drums. To fit it, we open the band assembly. We set it at middle size, so like I said, we've got one of the flaps removed, so we're sort of a couple of holes out of position. We then take the adapter and one of our pins, push the adapter into the side and drop our pin through, like so. And then we have the R-clip, which is just a locking pin. And this goes in the bottom and holds the pin in place. Then swap sides. Take our next pin, drop it down the back. So we're just locking this adapter in place basically. And fit the R-clip. The adapter is now in place, and you can see that the size of the opening is now much smaller, and you can see how a smaller drum would fit into this space. We can open this gap up by pulling our arm. So as we pull our arm, the gap in here gets larger, or if we close the arm, it gets smaller. And we may need to make adjustments at the back here. So if we're too tight, we may need to open this up slightly at the back, or if the gap's too large, we may need to close it up. And we do this by following the normal video, or the normal instructions, of removing these pins and moving this band closer or further apart. Just for an example, this drum's empty, so we're just showing this example video. But we'd have the arms open, the drum would be on a pallet, we drive forward to the drum. We obviously need access to either side because we've got our gearbox and the unit, so the drum needs to be in free space. And if it's a particularly short drum, we would need to lift it off a pallet, given the height of it off the floor. We've got our drum, I'm going to push our arms in. This is going to close the gap. We then take our strap, pass it around the front, and pull out any slack, just like we would for a normal drum. And then we've got a ratchet here, so we'll tighten it up. Now with these small drums, because they're not very heavy when we're lifting, generally around sort of 20-25 kilos, there's no need to have a rim clamp, so just the ratchet strap alone, gripping around the belly of the drum, will be enough to hold it securely.